The Michigan Football Report is sponsored by Mint Mobile. I switched to Mint this summer. Don't have to sacrifice any coverage. And folks, I have saved hundreds in the few months I have been with Mint Mobile. Go to mintmobile.com/chatsports. Start saving today. Plans as low as $15. Tell you more about them later on in the show. All right, we've got a bunch of things to talk about today, some rumors. But before we start, want to just put this one out there. We do this about once a month. People always say, James, give me a follow on Twitter here and there, sometimes. But this is the opportunity we do that. So if you go to my Twitter account, twitter.com/James Yoder, as always, link in the comments and the description of today's video. Next 10 people who follow me back here. It's about 6:30 on a Tuesday. Next 10 people to follow me, I will follow you back. Michigan fans only. So these Iowa fans who are all in the comments the last couple of days, not following you guys back. I'm checking profiles before I do so. Give me a follow. I'll follow you back. And hey, if you followed me in the past, you want to follow now, I guess I'll kind of give you guys like an out there. Just reply to a tweet and say, James, been following, follow me back. I'll include you guys in there. Just the next 10 people. Got to be Michigan fans to do so. All right, coming up on the show, we are going to talk rumors. There is a rumor of another starter injured who may not miss this week's game at Iowa. Then later on, we're going to talk more on the offense. The offense has missed quite a few players, offensive line, running back position, injuries, I won't say galore, but enough to be concerned. We'll update you on who's available coming up on Saturday versus the number one scoring defense in America, the Iowa Hawkeyes. Football program. Before we jump into the rumors, I want to make sure you guys are aware of the Harbaugh Heads rumor meter. Old school watchers of the show, you've been watching this for a year, 2, 3. You've seen this hundreds of times probably, but if you haven't, if we give something 0 Harbaugh Heads, it's fake news all the way up to 4 Harbaugh Heads. It's the scale of believability. If we give it to 4 Harbaugh Heads, it's FACK, fact. That is how Jim Harbaugh spells it, so that is how we spell it here on the show. I want to talk about Blake Corum here because I have a little trivia question for you guys to dive into. Here is Corum's stats through 4 games, right? 64 carries, 478 yards, about half of those, 243 of them, so actually over half, coming against Maryland this past Saturday. 9 touchdowns, 5 of those coming against UConn, and then the 2 that he had against Maryland. So 7 in the last couple weeks, averaging 7.5. This is a great start, right? This is one of the better starts in the country in all of college football this year. But I'm going to ask you guys this trivia question. It is not even a top 10 start in 4 games in the history of this program. I think it's actually like number 15 or 16 best 4-game start. So I want you to name the player with the best 4-game rushing start in any season. So it can't be like middle of the season, end of the season. First 4 games of the year. What player has the best 4-game rushing start in school history? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. I will give you the answer at the end of today's show. First rumor up on today's show. I don't know how much of a rumor this is. I just thought this stat was tremendous. I'm calling people calling Iowa the top 5 slayer. I'm going to give this one 3 Harbaugh Heads, right? Because it doesn't happen every single time, and it certainly isn't in the history of the program. But as of late, I'm talking about the last 15 years. So like kids who were in sophomore year of high school, their entire life, Iowa has been a top 5 slayer. Before we show you the stats, here's what Jim Harbaugh had to say in his radio press conference appearance yesterday. He said, as they say, that's where top 5 teams go to die when asked about playing the Iowa Hawkeyes as the number 4 ranked team in the AP poll. Let's take a look at the Hawkeyes over the last 15 seasons, right? 2008 to 2022, they have played a top 5 team at home 6 times, okay? 5-1 record. That is mind-boggling. That is absurd. And you guys will probably remember quite a few of them, right? Last time Michigan went there, 2016. Michigan was riding high, number 2 in the country, 9-0, getting ready to face Ohio State like a 2 versus 3 matchup, maybe a 1 versus 2 matchup. They lose to Iowa. Absolutely ridiculous game. The next year, they beat Ohio State. That's when they dropped 55 on the Buckeyes. The only loss since 2008 to present was 2017, the year they beat Ohio State. They also lost to number 4 Penn State by 2. So this is a team that knows how to beat, a program that knows how to beat top 5 teams when they come play at their house. And take a look at this stat. All right, Michigan has not beat Iowa in 17 seasons, okay? They don't play every year. And as a matter of fact, they don't even play every other year because they're in different divisions. But the last 4 times Michigan's headed out to Iowa, 2016, right? That's the Jim Harbaugh, only time he's been there in 8 seasons as Michigan's coach prior to Saturday. 2013, Brady Hoke's 3rd year. 2011, Hoke lost again, one of 2 losses on that season. And then 2009, that was the game, if you guys remember, Rich Rod's second year, where Tate Forcier was the starter. He got hurt. We saw the first glimpses of Denard Robinson trying to have a comeback against a pretty good Iowa team, and Michigan was absolutely in shambles. Last win in 2005 in overtime. If I recall correctly, I think it was somebody like Jerome Jackson as the running back getting the overtime touchdown to beat Michigan, walk-off touchdown in Iowa City for that game. All right, next up on the show, we are going to talk the rumors I mentioned at the top of the show of another injured starter. You're going to want to stick around for this one. Before we do, I want to talk about something that's not injured, and that is my bank account since I switched to Mint Mobile. They give you unlimited talk and text, high-speed data, a mobile hotspot. So if you want to connect your laptop, your iPad to your phone, no problems. Plans starting as low as $15 a month. This is the company started by run by actor Ryan Reynolds. MintMobile.com/chatsports is where you get hooked up for premium nationwide wireless plans starting as low as $15 a month. Folks, I was with one of the legacy carriers. I was paying way too much. And with inflation hitting everyone's pocketbook, you need to think about options like Mint Mobile. MintMobile.com/chatsports. Down in the comments and description is that link. Click on it. Go check it out. Get signed up. You got nationwide coverage. You're not sacrificing anything. And you're paying so much less. MintMobile.com/chatsports. You can get set up today with your existing phone and use their eSIM process to get your phone activated with your number at Mint Mobile. MintMobile.com/chatsports. How about AJ Henning? I saw this happen during the game. I didn't really think much of it, but when I went back and looked on second look at the Big Ten and 60, I'll give them another plug that comes out like on Sunday, and they play it basically once a day. So set your DVRs. 60 minutes, you watch every single play just in rapid fashion. He got hurt against Maryland. He was receiving some attention from the medical staff and then really didn't come out again for a punt returner. So I'm giving this one 2 Harbaugh heads. I've yet to receive any substantial information, but I do want to put this on everyone's radar to make sure that no one's caught off guard should he miss this game coming up against Iowa on Saturday. So he's a starter, right? He's a starting punt returner. That's a starter, and the 4th or 5th wide receiver on this team. His status right now is uncertain. It is called a contusion. Apparently, he took a helmet or a knee to the body. He's got a big welt on himself. So as of now, he's being treated, didn't practice on Monday from what we know, and we're trying to figure out where this injury stands. So make sure to check in with us on Thursday, on Friday with our Michigan football rumors roundup heading into the Iowa game to know what the status is on AJ Henning. Now, I mentioned that game. Big noon kickoff again, 12 o'clock. Seems like Fox is just in love with Michigan, right? I think this will be, the 3rd big noon kickoff? 2nd? I don't know what it is, of the season so far. And we expect it to be Penn State 2 weeks from now, maybe even Indiana next week. Who knows? That hasn't been officially announced yet. Michigan is 10.5-point favorites. Over-under is 42, which Iowa is a team. I don't think their combined games, they haven't even scored 30 yet this year with them and the opponent. So 42, interesting. Remember last year, 42-3 at the Big Ten championship game. That's the line. That's the matchup, the betting. Let me know what you guys think. Predict the score down in the comments. Michigan headed out to Iowa on Saturday. Let me know what your score prediction is in this one. My score prediction, I got a wacky one, 26-9 Michigan. I think it's going to be a slugfest. I've got 6 field goals in this one. Iowa, field goal, field goal, field goal. Michigan scores 2 touchdowns, and then they have to rely on 4 field goals from Jake Moody to get the job done. I think Michigan will get down inside the 25, inside the 20 quite a few times, but won't be able to punch it in at a high enough rate to kind of make this a bigger spread than that. So I'm guessing that's the under, although I do think Michigan has a good chance of beating that 10.5-point spread. Last rumor of today. Stick around. We're going to give you that trivia answer here in just a moment. Donovan Edwards back versus Iowa. I'm giving this one 3 Harbaugh heads. My source inside the medical staff in Michigan, I don't think they led me astray. They said Edwards is available. He should be ready to go on Saturday. Don't know if he'll play. He might suit up, etc. He didn't play. He didn't suit up. But here's what J.J. McCarthy said on Michigan football radio after the game, kind of coming out of Saturday's win of Maryland. He said, having guys like Blake Corum just makes everyone on offense so much better. I mean, seriously, with him in the backfield and 7, obviously Donovan Edwards, next week, referring to the Iowa game. I just don't see our run game being challenged very much this year. So did JJ let the cat out of the bag? What I told you last week on Friday on Donovan Edwards was he was healthy enough to play. All right, he was available. I did say, though, I don't want any haters out in the comment, Yoder, you don't know what you're talking about. You lied. I gave you the information I have. He was available. Michigan, opted to not risk it. Make sure he's full healthy for the Iowa game. But I think with J.J. McCarthy, right, he said that after the game against Maryland, he wouldn't have said that unless, he knew that, Edwards was healthy into this one. He understood the plan that we're going to keep him out for 1 week because we know, tougher pastures are ahead with Iowa, with Penn State, with Michigan State over the next 4 or 5 weeks for this program. So I think he was healthy enough. He didn't dress, he didn't play, and Blake Corum got the lion's share, 30 carries against Maryland on Saturday and went for 243 yards. I think we all saw Michigan doesn't really have anything backing him up. C.J. Stokes fumbled, Isaiah Gash, I don't know what that was all about. But Michigan saved him for that game, and there is your rumors roundup. Iowa, the top 5 slayer, 5 of the last 6 of the last 15 years. AJ Henning being treated, and we expect Donovan Edwards to be fully healthy and play versus the Hawkeyes on Saturday. All right. Toss that trivia question up on the screen. Name the player with the best 4-game rushing start in Michigan football history. That person, Denard Robinson, the quarterback in 2010. He went for 688. I pulled up his stats from that year so you guys know. 197 is the quarterback rushing versus UConn in the opener. We all remember the 258 he put on Notre Dame. Rushing in the second game, 104 against UMass, and 129 games, playing like half of both those games. That fourth one against Bowling Green. Crazy enough, this is the 14th or 15th highest. Blake Corum's start is the 14th or 15th highest in 15th best fourth game streak in the history of the program. Denard, 2010, 11, and 12 is up there in the top 10. He always got off to a hot start against the kind of weaker out-of-conference opponents. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Join 21,000 Michigan football fans strong. More Americans watch the Michigan Football Report than any other nationality. Subscribe below, youtube.com/Michigan TV. And if you subscribed in the past, you want to help us out, send a link to a friend. It's down in the comments and the description. We will be back with some big-time burning questions for Michigan, Iowa coming up on Wednesday. So make sure you subscribe. Join us then. Go Blue.